Hello everybody and welcome to another Streamstructor. Just very quickly, a wee quote I found online recently. In the sky the sun doth shine, not a cloud upon the skyline. No more raindrops, no more misery or teardrops. Dost thou ken? It's a beautiful new day in some places, maybe not in Scotland, it's a bit overcast today, but my god, it's been a beautiful day, quite a lot down in, in England particularly. Oh god, here we go. Start coughing. Hold on a second. That's what happens when you try and have food before you go on live stream. You eat it too fast and you start choking. Hello everybody. Welcome to another Streamstructor. I'm here for another hour or so, just having a bit of chat, conversation with you guys, along with some of the usual archive videos and some bits of conversation here, there and everywhere, and hopefully you can join me for that. Lots of interesting topics to talk about. There's something I missed last month I've got to do again this month, and I vowed I'd do it when it's all started back in February, so I'll carry on doing that this time. Also a couple of news bits as well. First of all, before I carry on, there's very low likelihood that I'll see either Jamie or Fraser involved in chat or conversation or anything today. Jamie is actually at a birthday party for a friend's sister who's turned 30. It's a very special birthday party under the circumstances. So I may see him later, but I won't see him on this most likely. And also, Fraser isn't going to be here because he is now not actually going to be socialising with many people for the next few weeks and months, I think. Congratulations, sir. As of yesterday, he is now the proud father of baby son Harrison. I hope you and Siobhan are both doing tremendously well. £7 and 10 ounces, you said to me, which was absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to go as far as photographs or anything like that. That's not my place. But he looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a real cutie. And yes, I think you have the very best start in life. You've got two fantastic parents, Harrison, and I hope you have the best life possible. I really do. It's quite ironic because Fraser was making comments in pre-recorded we did for Kittochside back in February for the one that's coming out this month saying I might be a father by the time this goes out. You're right, you are, but that's a different matter. So congratulations, Fraser. All the very best. Hope you and Shiv are doing well. I don't know if you're still in the hospital or not yet, but enjoy this precious time with your boy. I'm not jealous. I'm really happy for you. I can't say jealousy. There's my own reasons for not having anything, but no, I'm really chuffed and pleased. And I had a word chat with him a couple of weeks ago, and it was getting rather close. So we have caught up face to face, and yes, all the best, sir. Hopefully I'll be able to see you soon, and maybe even say hello to the wee man. But until then, keep safe, keep well. Good luck with the sleepless nights, but enjoy your time being a father. I hear from lots of other anecdotes from other people. It's one of the best things you could ever be, and I really hope that you have a fantastic time being a father. Speaking of fantastic times and fantastic days, it's February, it's August, and I said February there. It's August, and it's a lot of birthdays going up. A friend of mine who's just become the Answers to the Life universe of anything. Another one has just hit the hill this month. A couple of other birthdays I'll go quickly over to Facebook, and then we'll go over, and then I'll go into what's happening on the channel and everything else. In fact, no, I'll show what's on the channel first. What's coming up? So coming up. Oh no, that's the wrong screen. There's the running order. So we continue with the vlogs. So we've got the vlogs for Kittochside and the vlog for Kittochside, which is one of the most popular vlogs on the channel. It's interesting why, because there's vlogs I think a lot more interesting personally, but they don't seem to do as well. This one has. This is the vlog for Kittochside, the Scottish National Museum of Rural Life, which is up in East Kilbride, top end of East Kilbride. And then we have the Doctor Who review. There's the first of the 3 Who Month videos for 2020. It's Deanstructor reviews Doctor Who, the Tom Baker story Full Circle, which is the first story from the E-Space trilogy. Okay, hope everybody's been okay. Let's just go through the birthdays very quickly and get that passed and done, because there's a lot more other things to want to talk about today, and I'll talk a bit about what's happened in my life as well today. in the past month. But yes, so we have in front of me here birthdays coming up. So we have this month, we've got Jason, the theatre and gaming mechanic. His birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, sir. Hopefully it's a great day for you. We then have Al, one of my reenactment friends. His birthday's next Saturday, the 13th of August. Happy birthday, sir, when it comes. Other birthdays this month. I think the two interesting ones are my cousin Yasmin, whose birthday's on the 27th. Happy birthday. You're closer to your nephew now, because my other cousin Zoe's gone back down south after living up in Morpeth for a few years. So you've got a chance of getting a birthday wishes from your nephew for the first time ever, which would be really cool. And also happy birthday to friend of the channel and all round putter down of stuff and puts me in my place. Happy birthday, Kirsty, and that is on the 23rd of August. So happy birthday for that date. And I have one more birthday now going forward. Happy birthday for wee Harrison from the 6th of August next year. But yes, well, happy birthday for yesterday anyway, because it was your actual birthday. But there we are. I hope everybody's been fine. Hope there's been a good month. I've certainly had a decent month in regards to reenactment stuff and so forth, and I'll go into that later on. But it's been really chilled, really relaxed. I know the weather's been quite warm in various places across the UK. It wasn't too bad for a couple of days up here, although I was wearing very light and loose clothing, which is interesting in itself. But it's been fun. It's been interesting. I didn't mind too much. But yeah, I do feel for those down south who've had nothing but just absolute heat and drought and everything for the past 4 months, and it's just a couple of months, and it doesn't seem to be abating. And there's no rain down there. They've got hosepipe bans. 40 degrees was amazing in itself, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. 40.2, I think, was the official figure they put out on the Met Office, and that was at Heathrow Airport. So it's kind of like, or was it Heathrow Airport? It was one of the places anyway. And I thought that was quite surprising and amazing. But it's just the nature of the beast sometimes with this weather and the climate change and that. It's made me rethink my plans for celebrating a big birthday of mine next year, about where I'm going and which location I'm going and the time of year because of the climate. So yes, I do want to be in Europe. I wanted to be in Eastern Europe next year for my birthday, for the holiday trip, because as you may know, I've done a vlog to Krakow in Poland, did a vlog to Dubrovnik in Croatia, and also when we did the day trips to Montenegro and Bosnia. And those were basically based on birthdays from the family. So the families had milestone birthdays. We decided to go for birthdays. So my mum's was the 6th, was Krakow. My sister's was Dubrovnik. This year, next year will be my big 4-0. So I'm planning to go on a break with the family as well. At the moment, I'm looking at the western side of Europe. I'd really like to go back to the Baltic states, but I think maybe what's happening over that side of the continent is not the best idea to do that at the moment. Even the Balkan states, I don't think will be any possible. So I'm going to keep to the west side of the continent, and fortunately is the Iberian Peninsula at the moment. Not exactly sure where, but somewhere on the Iberian Peninsula I think is probably the best thing I'm going to go. I know it's not really exciting, but there's bits in that side of the country that probably would be very interesting to me, and that's the plan for me for holidays. So yes, there's more planning, but it's kind of partially due to climate change and what's happened with climate change and things like that. Thinking it would be better maybe going in the October time, late September, early October time in next year, which is round about roughly when my birthday actually is. So yeah, I could be celebrating my 40th in a different country than Scotland. But I still love the country, I still love the place. It looks like I may still be here in this very location for at least another year because of all the interest rates and everything else. Oh, the greatest plans. That's definitely one resolution that's not going this year, I think, buying a house. However, I am getting better as time goes on that one, but I'll talk more about that as time goes on. But yes, rabbiting, talking, looking rather nervous to camera, the usual stuff in this live stream. I've done 32 of them now, and I still freaking feel nervous on camera every time. It just shows it never goes. But yes, there's the running order there. I'm going to give myself a break here because 1, I'm slightly parched. 2, I have my food sitting here getting cold. Nice £1 Iceland pizza going on cold here, so I'm going to enjoy that. And while you're enjoying that, while I'm enjoying that rather, we'll let you enjoy the first of the archive videos today from the archives. As you know, on the channel I will play a couple of videos from the archives every so often. Well, every live stream really, and yeah, it showcases some of the stuff that's happened on the channel before. It's usually vlogs and Doctor Who reviews at the moment, and this is no different. So we'll go on with the very first of the videos. It's time for the vlog to Kittochside. Hello there, and welcome to another vlog. Bit noisy, I think, but I'm somewhere local today, out and about, as you can see. That's purely because of circumstances outside my control. But if you want to find out exactly where I'm going, stay tuned. So where am I going? Well, I had a choice of two other locations before the one I'm going to today. I'm not saying this is a backup. I would have been here at some point, but it's kind of been brought forward due to circumstances outside my control, as I mentioned in the intro. First place I was going to go to was Pollock Country Park. Go to the house, which is shut for the winter, as I found out, and the Bottle Collection, which is also shut, but that's shut for refurbishment. As you can see, I'm walking through an industrial estate at the moment. So there's going to be the occasional time where people actually drive past, so thank goodness for the mic that got on me, because it makes it a bit clearer for the sound. But no, the second place was Dumbarton Castle, which I've been before, but I've never actually vlogged inside the castle complex itself. It's been on the outskirts with the Rock of Ages last year, which I'm doing again this year. And that'll be one of the vlogs I film, because this time it's on the inside, not the outside, which will be fun. And then I've got the situation with, that was stopped because, and I don't know if that's going to get my hand sorted. I'm not used to holding these cameras, you know that, like this, it's terrible. Oh, I like that. Oh, have a look. That's something you don't get in most vlogs. But yeah, no, the idea is the second one was supposed to be Dumbarton Castle, but that's shut because of storm damage. Wow. That's quite an exhaust on that one. So that being the case, I decided to go to the Kittochside Museum, which originally is what it was called. It's now called the National Museum of Rural Life, and that's where I'm going. It's in the northwest of East Kilbride, in the Stuartfield Kittochside Glen area. It's about a 45-minute walk from where I live, from my place, my bit. I was watching the Glaswegian Words and Phrases video the other night. Oh my god. That happened to be one of the most successful videos of the year, ironically. But let's go and visit this location, shall we? Well, here I am at the National Museum for Rural Life. I've been here once before, and the views in some of the complex are actually quite stunning. I'm going to go in now and buy my admission fee and go have a look around. Let's see what's here, shall we? that was quite a fun day. Quite a montage you've got there as well, of the museum itself. Quite a lot in it. Quite a lot of exhibits in it, different parts of the history of farming and also of the area. Most important part of the area is the farmhouse, West Kittochside Farm, which is up the hill over there. And you get a tractor up. You can get a tractor up there where you can walk up. It's about 5-6 minutes on the tractor and trailer, and about 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk up to the farm itself. The farm's like a time capsule. The farm is designed to be like what it would have been farming methods in the 1950s. And the farm itself, the furniture in there's a little bit older. The house itself is a mixture of late 18th and mid 19th century construction and design. And it's quite a fun place to go. It's quite good. It's open, you know, most winter days, as you can see. It's open all year. There's various events that happen in the area as well. None today, but have a look, have a go. Go to the National Museum's website, the Scotland website, and go to the National Trust for Scotland website and find National Museum of Rural Life, and you'll find out more. On the note of the channel, what's happening this month? Well, one of the main things that's happening this month is that, well, I'm starting a new series on Interesting Week called 6 Facts. You've probably seen a few trials of it in other formats across the channel. This time I've actually got 6 historical figures, male to start with. I didn't realise that until I started filming and planning them, but male this time, of history. I'll do 6 facts in each one every Interesting Week between now and August time. I might take a break after the 3rd one. We'll see what happens. So that's the plan, that's the idea. The next one you'll see is one for King Henry VIII of England. So that's your Interesting Week video next week, 6 facts on King Henry VIII. The Odd Week video this month, it was going to be the Childish series, but I thought I'd leave it, possibly, I don't know. I'm still producing it at the moment. At the time of this recording this video, probably have it scheduled up, so I'll leave it to the surprise of what the Odd Week video will be until it gets released on YouTube channel. Anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all your feedback and all your comments as always. Please like and comment below. If you like what you see, please do subscribe, and please tell everybody else. I have an aim of 100 subscribers for the end of the year. I want that. I know I said 1,000, that would be great, but I want 100 subscribers at the end of the year. So if you want to pass it on to any friends, share the videos on any social media sites, you can do. Speaking of social media, my blog is now up and running again. I write something every week based on what I've been doing filming wise, or some sort of event or topic that's going on in the world. And then you've got my social media links. By all means, follow me on Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you later. Apologies for the intermediate notification sound you're hearing from Facebook. Oh my, it's not hamsters nowadays, it's just me not making mistakes technically all over the place. Welcome back to another Streamstructor. If you just joined me, hello, and welcome to another 45 minutes or so of fun conversation, tactics, not tactics, but joy, possibly. There's going to be not as much joy in a minute, but nice conversation, nice live stream, nice chat about it, and yes, lovely time had by all, I hope. And that was interesting seeing that vlog. One thing I'm slightly disappointed is the bit when I was chatting on the bench at the end. I didn't realise how badly interlaced that copy of that video has gone. I don't know how I've managed to get that, but I don't think the originals on the YouTubes is that bad. But oh, that's quite horrible. The strobing that was going on there. Thank goodness these sort of things don't happen as much going forward. That'd be a lie, but welcome. Yes, so Kittochside, one of the most popular vlogs of 2017, and I did say that I wanted to get 100 subscribers total by the end of 2017. I was 6 short, but a good effort was had by all that year. But it was good fun. And as it stands at the moment, it looks like 2017 is the target to beat for this year when it comes to new subscribers, because it's not been the best of years. 327 of you at the moment, so that's only 25 more for the year. But do you know what? I don't do it for the subscribers. I do it for the fun and enjoyment and doing these sort of things and everything else. But yes, hopefully your time's been okay past few weeks and months. Mine's has been fine. I've got a lot of reenactment stuff, stories I'll talk about after the next little segment here. But a lot's been going on in the world, lots of bad things, lots of good things. You've got the whole situation with that Archie Battersby, which I don't know how embarrassing it is for the whole media coverage of it, but it just really highlights the fact of trying to get this balance between the care of the person and the feelings of the family's wishes and all that. And it's a horrible situation. He passed away yesterday after being taken off life support, but he survived a couple of hours afterwards, so you know he had strength in him. But it's really sad and horrible. The whole situation, the fact that, you know, the whole court situation, the family. I do feel for them for an extent, but it was getting to the stage of, come on guys, you just have to maybe accept it just a little bit, because it was getting to the stage of it's going a bit too far. Speaking of families and things like that, I'm just going to correct one little thing I said there last time round. I said that baby Harrison was born yesterday. I got a correction from Fraser via Facebook Messenger, which is what the beep's for. He was actually born this morning. Yes, I hope to meet the wee man soon, but take your time on that, because as far as I'm concerned, you need the time. You and Shiv need the time with the baby, and expect a little something from me in the post very soon, because I'll be going shopping tomorrow now. I know the baby has come. But yes, apart from that, yes, I'm really pleased and happy for my friend, and not jealous, but just wistful that it's not that sort of thing. That miracle has not happened yet for me. However, there's lots of happiness elsewhere in the world. I will get to that later. Now, from March onwards, I have been, until last month, I had been doing a 1 minute silence for those involved in the conflict in Ukraine, and I completely forgot last month. Absolutely forgot about it. So I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to do a 1 minute silence for the people of Ukraine and the Ukraine conflict. And then another story about something that happened more locally that I have a first-person point of view of as well, which I will discuss in this little section. And then we'll go on to Doctor Who review, Deanstructor reviews Doctor Who review of Full Circle, the Tom Baker story, the start of the East Space trilogy in his last season, season 18. But yes, so... if you want to join me, thank you for doing so. If you're doing this live, that'll be brilliant. If you're doing it when you're playing it back, that'll be brilliant too. As I've been doing, apart from last month when I forgot, let's do a 1 minute silence now for the people and the conflict in Ukraine. You can join me with this if you wish. That's absolutely fine. Thank you for doing so if you do. So here we go. 1 minute to a 1 minute silence for Ukraine. If you joined into that, thank you very much. Although up the stairs decided to start making noise as soon as I did it. It's like they know I'm about to do something quiet, so a little bit peed. But there's the breaks, I suppose. But yes, thank you guys. If you did take part in that 1 minute silence with me, either live or watching later on, it really is appreciated, the support for these this terrible conflicts happening over in the eastern side of Europe. And it just seems to be getting worse and worse, and this whole nuclear power plant situation here is just, it's just horrible. It really is horrible. Okay, now When I did a discussion a couple of months ago about the situation with the gas explosion that happened in May last year, and I mentioned about this guy who'd hijacked a lorry and rammed into the house in East Kilbride. He went on trial last month, and he got sentenced for 10 years. And there's quite interesting footage of that, but I just wanted to have a quick chat about that and the whole situation. So here we go. So trucker admits ramming HGV into partner's East Kilbride home. So a trucker was admitted deliberately ramming his HGV into his girlfriend's home while the 2 children were inside. Derek Wellington reversed twice into the house in East Kilbride, South Lanarkshire, causing 7 homes to be evacuated and 2 to be destroyed. And the evidence of that is still there if you go down that street. It's terrible. The bill to the damage came to £475,000. Wow, that's quite a lot. Wellington pled guilty to a string of charges, including culpable and reckless conduct to the danger of lives. 34-year-old was on bail at the time of the previous instance when he attacked girlfriend Sarah Cassidy at a hotel in Edinburgh. He was told to stay away from the 33-year-old after headbutting her, dragging her and pinning her against the wall. My God, what's wrong with this guy? But despite the court order, the couple resumed contact, and he repeatedly called her on the day of the lorry rage incident on the 6th of September last year. The High Court in Glasgow heard Wellington had flown into drunken rage after Miss Cassidy refused to meet him. He had screamed down the phone to her, "I'm going to park my lorry in your living room." Well, unfortunately, that's what he did. She was laid out on the street near her home in Lancaster Crescent when she spotted her partner driving past. Prosecutor Lisa Gillespie QC told the court she told him under no circumstances he was to come to the house because there were children there. He stated he was coming round anyway. Miss Cassidy tried to calm Wellington by agreeing to meet him out in the street nearby, but panicked when she saw him in his truck about 2300 hours, so about 11 at night. Miss Gillespie said she was terrified because of his earlier threats and ran back to her house. As she did, she heard a loud banging noise and windows smashing. Wellington then drove past her again away from the street. Miss Cassidy then broke down and became hysterical when she found her housing association home caved in. Oh. A friend who had been inside at the time had spotted Wellington pull up, straighten his lorry and then reverse at speed into the property. Wellington from Kilmarnock repeated the manoeuvre before escaping. The friend raced to grab the 2 children and took them outside. The court heard they're all unarmed. One witness described sounds akin to an earthquake as Wellington repeatedly reverses HGV into Miss Cassidy's house, completely wrecking the property. When police arrived, Miss Cassidy was on the phone to Wellington, who was overheard threatening that he was coming back to finish it. He added, "I told you I was going to ram into your house." What kind of man does that? Damaged truck still carrying a load of wood chips was found abandoned in a supermarket car park the next morning with Wellington's wallet inside. Idiot. The court heard occupants of 7 houses had to be evacuated that night. Those in 4 of the properties were able to return, but the damage to Miss Cassidy's home and next door neighbours was so bad that the houses had to be demolished. The other house needed repair before it was safe. Clyde Valley Housing Association ended up with a bill totaling £475,000 due to the damage and loss of rental income. Wellington also pled guilty to assaulting Miss Cassidy in Edinburgh, breaching bail, threatening behaviour and spitting at a police officer. He was remanded in custody and will be sentenced next month, and he has been sentenced for 10 years in jail, which is probably justifiable, to be fair. Now, my anecdote to this is I was walking, as I normally do at lunchtime, the day after, the 7th of September, and I saw this lorry parked in the car park they mentioned in the supermarket car park. It was a Lidl, and looked like it'd been damaged quite substantially, like it'd been reversed into or something. And it's only later I realised it was this situation of this guy reversing into the house. And I walk past the street where the house is when I do my walking most nights, so it's really frightening to see somebody to do that, and it's kind of. You kind of wonder where people get their mindset and psyche from sometimes, that you feel that you need to prove a point by being so destructive. It perplexes me why we all get angry feelings, we all get frustrated, but where's that red fog come from? Because sometimes I don't get it. I don't get the red fog that comes sometimes with people, and I think it really strange and weird and odd that it happens as it does. But it's a lot of damage, £250,000 worth of damage almost. 2 people have lost their homes. And and there's still no end in sight of them getting a property back on the site, which is really, really, really strange. Sorry, something came up there. I just had to very quickly check something. Yes, so yeah, it's an interesting situation with that whole not live stream. That whole situation that somebody could be so red mist to do something like that. I think it really strange and odd, and to cause so much damage as well. It's nasty. There's a video here as well of them ramming into the home and everything else that was filmed at the time. You don't see him actually ramming the home. It's kind of a side view from a side street, but it's still horrible to see. And I won't be showing it here, but yeah, it's strange when you see these things. So you see all these news reports in other places, and you think, oh, that's sad, and then you have it here in your own place, and it just kind of hits home a bit more. It's really strange, really odd. Anyway, that's the kind of downers done here. I will come back after the Doctor Who review, and we'll talk a little bit about my time last month reenacting, some of the fun that was entailed in that, and some of the enjoyment that's coming up this month with the reenacting as well. So yes, let's have a look at the running order once more. So yes, here we go. Let's go and play the review of Full Circle. Hello everybody, and welcome to Who Month 2020. This time we are starting off with 3 stories from Tom Baker's final season, colloquially known as the E-Space Trilogy, and we start off with Full Circle. As always, I have in front of me the television companion for all the classic series synopsis. Here we go with the plotline for Full Circle. The TARDIS falls through a CVE into E-Space and arrives on the planet Alzarius. There, the inhabitants of a crashed starliner and a group of young rebels called the Outlaws, led by a boy named Vash and including his brother Adric, are being terrorised by a race of marshmen who emerged from the marshes at a time known as Mistfall. The Doctor discovers that the starliner's inhabitants are not the descendants of its original crew, as is claimed by their leaders the Deciders, but evolved from marshmen. With the Time Lord's help and encouragement, the starliner is repaired and able to leave the planet. So, Season 18's Full Circle, the 3rd story of that season, the first of the E-Space Trilogy, and a few firsts. It's the first appearance of Adric, it's the first time a Doctor Who fan has written for the show, in Andrew Smith, and it's also the first of the last stories we see of Romana, played by Lalla Ward. A few interesting plot points in this one. It's a steady story. It's an interesting concept with the Deciders thinking they're separate, and the Starliner people thinking they're separate from the people on the Marshmen, and the evolution of everything. It is an interesting evolutionary story, hence the name, Full Circle, I suppose. A few good things about it. The interesting points. K9 seems to be disabled again. This time he's headless. Last time he... What was it? Leisure Hive. He went for a dip too much in the south coast of England. The Deciders are really pen pushers that follow procedure, but when all hell breaks loose, they're effectively useless. They don't really do much. I mean, they procrastinate, and that's what they've been doing for generations. 40,000 years. They say 40 generations. It's probably something like 40,000 years. They've been procrastinating. They've been pen pushing. It doesn't seem right, really. Then Logan, who's played by George Baker, becomes the 3rd Decider after the head Decider gets swallowed into the swamp, and he's well known and well liked in the community. He's a little bit indecisive, but he's the one that effectively takes the lead near the end and gets things working for it. Overall, it's an interesting way of doing the a kind of enemy within sort of thing. There isn't really any main protagonists. I mean, they're more monsters of the week. It's more like a kind of intergalactic base under siege, or planet under siege as it is in this case, with the naturally evolving marshmen, who happen to obviously be an evolution from spiders, who happen to be an evolutionary step down from the people on the Starliner, which is an interesting setup. On the cast, we've got, of course, the Doctor, Tom Baker. You can tell he's getting to the end just a little bit. It's still Tom Baker. It's still the Doctor we all enjoy and love, and the silliness is there a little bit, but it's becoming more serious again, and he's more understanding and caring, and more inquisitive. And I like the scenes that Tom has, not necessarily with K9, who's kind of going across. I'll come to K9 in a minute. Actually, I like the scenes of K9, but the bits I like with when he's talking to the young marshman that he catches and who becomes inquisitive by him, and the Doctor very quickly figuring out that there's something not quite right with what's happening on the ship and the Starliner, and he realises very quickly that they're doing repair work, but the repair work's just replacing parts, which are perfectly in working order. Everything should be working. There shouldn't be any issue. They're just effectively very procrastinating the whole lot. You then got Lalla Ward, who plays Romana. It's good to see Romana having a mind of her own a little bit. There's a couple of Perils of Pauline moments where she screams, but it's more out of relevant to the plot than anything else, which is interesting. She has this kind of confidence with her when the spiders erupt from the mouth of the fruits at the end of the second episode, and she says, "Oh, these spiders!" And then when the TARDIS disappears, where the Outlaws take the TARDIS, and I'll come to them in a minute, she kind of becomes a bit more scared, understandably. But the bit I like about Romana is the bit where Tylos and Vash and the Outlaws go into the TARDIS for the first time, and Tylos is pointing a knife at her, and she effectively manages to stop him putting the knife anywhere, takes the knife off him, and hands it back to him. And it's kind of like this power thing saying, well, you don't need to do that. She's basically treating them like children and acting like a mother figure, trying to guide them through a little bit, which I thought was an interesting way of doing it. You then got the guest cast. I suppose we better mention K9 first. John Leeson does a good voiceover of K9 as always. K9 is always fun to have. He's basically a talking computer bank. The interesting bits for K9, he does a little bit where he's going through the marshland and everything. Although I don't like the joke where he comes to that river bit and he doesn't cross and he decides to go around the other way. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of K9. But it's the way the limitations are. You can tell they don't really like K9 because he gets his head lobbed off in the second episode, which I thought was ironic. So yeah, they really are trying to take him out of the picture. Really, you can tell that John Nathan Turner doesn't really like K9. Now does Christopher Bidme, the script editor. You can tell that. Then you've got the guest cast. You've got Logan, who's the main guest cast member of George Baker. Very understanding man, obviously head of community, very vulnerable. He was worried about his daughter, of course, which is understandable, and I can understand that if Kira's not there and he's looking for Kira and waiting for Kira, and Kira doesn't arrive because she's part of the Outliers and he's worried for her as a worried father. But he's also wanting to help, but feels a bit pointless helping and doesn't know where to go when he's decided, especially when the Marshmen start coming into the Starliner later in the story. But George Baker plays him solidly and has a good part. And then you got Nefrid, played by James Bree. This is the penultimate appearance of James Bree, if I remember correctly, because he plays the Keeper of the Matrix and Trial of a Time Lord. Here, it's more of a uncertain performance. James Bree's played quite strong and strong characters before. I mean, his most famous is the War Chief, or not the War Chief. Is it the War Chief? I can't remember. Is it the Security Chief in the War Games? That's his best performance. This is more nuanced. It's like, I know what we're doing. I know we have to show authority here. I'm not sure how to show authority, but I'm going to try. And it's going to be quite a interesting performance. He plays it quite strong. You've got Alan Rowe plays Gareth, and Gareth and Alan Rowe has been in another review I've done of Horror of Fang Rock. He was Skinsdale. Was it Skinsdale? The old man, anyway. Who's the second decider here. and he's kind of like the in-between. He's like the moderator between the two. Yeah, I have an opinion here, but it's totally up to you. What do you think, guys? And it's a solid enough part. The main guest cast that really does make an impact, apart from Logan, are the Outlaws. Vash, played by Richard Willis, who is Adric's brother. He's playing it in a way of a young person. He wants it to work. He wants it to push through. He wants to be a leader and show his strength there. You've then got Tylos, played by Bernard Padden, who's a little bit more uncertain and unsure. And then we've got Kira, played by June Page, who is an interesting, inquisitive, stereotypical young girl character. But the three of them together kind of work in this little extra rebellious group that does work to a certain extent in regards to having a contrast between what the outsiders are doing and what the young people are doing. And I suppose because of Andrew Smith's writing, it comes across a bit more that it's working better with that kind of interaction of that team than the older people in these stories, which is it works. It makes a difference, and you can see the conflict of interest there. They are inexperienced. They're shown up by Romana. They're shown up by the Siders. But it's nice to have that independent spirit there. Now, I've left the main new cast member till last because there's a lot to talk about Adric here and Matthew Waterhouse as a whole. I am not really a fan of Adric as a character as a whole. I've made it clear in previous reviews I've done with Adric, which is the Visitation. I'm not a great fan of Adric as such. But here it's interesting seeing him as a kind of artful dodger character and trying to bluff his way through things, and it's shown again in the next story as well, in State of Decay. But here, they're trying to make him an action hero, and they realise that Matthew Waterhouse can't do it. And he's not grating here. He's actually okay to watch. I think he does complement Romana and the Doctor quite well. But there's something about the way that he acts. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't seem true. And if he is the best of those who John Nathan Turner, Barry Letts and Christopher Bidmead were trying to cast as Adric, I'm kind of concerned, because is this all that we're coming through at this point for this sort of role? Because he's not the best of the potential characters we have here. And I just can't put my finger on it. And he's okay in this story. I mean, obviously it's his starting story. He's got a background there, history that we know about with his brother and the Starliner, and his intelligence, his mathematical excellence, and you can see the Alzarian healing power that comes through for the first time. And it's interesting that you see that link going forward of that patch that he's got on his trouser leg all the way through afterwards with his costume. It's okay. It's not terrible. But there's something not quite there with the character, and it doesn't really get any better. Even in Earthshock, the last story he's in, he's not the greatest written character. He's not the greatest acted character. I just can't put my finger on why he's not 100% there. This one is written as a starting story. It's okay. It's not the strongest. It's not like some of the other characters who start off very strongly and get weaker as they go along. Adric starts kind of mediocre and doesn't get any better. In fact, it gets slightly worse. So it's really weird and really strange seeing that. When we go into the story itself and the way it's presented, there's very good use of the corridors in this. It's one or two corridors being used within the Starliner, but the way they get around that, make it look like different ones, is they've got blue screen at the end of each of the corridors that you can see in some of the shots, and that changes according to where they are on the ship. And that's quite a little visual effect there to utilise the blue screen in a way that's not terrible, but it's not disconcerting from the story. It doesn't take away from the story at all. It's very muted, but it gives a kind of sense that the ship is larger with these backgrounds they're using at some elements in the story. The lighting isn't too high. It reflects the industrious nature of the Starliner in the Starliner, and the way the lighting's used out on location in the marshes and in the river is lovely because they're using the sun coming from the back, so it looks a bit more alien than it would be than front lit with the sun. It's lit from the back, and it makes it a little more alien, and it's a nice little direction, and it's good for the close-ups and single camera shots that Peter Grimley does in this story. The way the light reflects off the back and that, and it's quite effective. And it's interesting to think this is Peter Grimley's first directional debut in Doctor Who, and to be fair, it's one of the best ones he does. I do like the way it's been put across. When it comes to the writing, Andrew Smith does a good solid starting script. There's a lot of scientific gobbledygook that starts to get a little bit worse. As it's not as bad as it was in Leisure Hive, but there's a couple of gobbledygook bits you see later in the season that you're going, yeah, Bidme, you may be going a bit too much into the science. Logopolis is very scientific heavy. In regards to that, it works here. There's enough of the evolution side of the science to make sense. It isn't overly, but you can see there's a scientific element there that definitely wasn't there in the season before that. Which is grounded in proper science. It's not scientific pseudoscience gobbledygook like you would get in sci-fi of this era. But it's written well enough, it's written solidly enough, considering this is Andrew Smith's first and only script for Doctor Who. Andy was a fan. Andy's Scottish, which always helps. And he was only 17 when he wrote it. He turned 18 while they were filming it, which is an amazing thing to think about as well. Overall, it wasn't too bad. It's pretty solid start, pretty solid writing. Overall, the story's not too bad. It runs fine. You don't get bored. It's not like it doesn't sag in the middle that much. There is enough to keep it carrying on for the 4 episodes. It's pretty good, and help from that is Paddy Kingsland's music. Paddy Kingsland is one of my favourite early 80s incidental music composers. The stuff he does in season 18 and season 19, particularly The Visitation, is brilliant with his guitar riff, his guitar leitmotifs and his drums and cymbals. You get a bit of that for the atmosphere in this one. It's better suited in State of Decay, which we'll come to next week. But I prefer his scores to Peter Howe, Roger Lim of this era. Peter Howe's all right at times. His melodies are stronger, but Peter Howe's better. Paddy Kingsland's better at the incidental, at the helping build the atmosphere, and I really do enjoy the whole thing. I just love watching episodes of this era with Paddy Kingsland's music in the background. It does make a difference to the story for me, and it brings it up, and it helped keep the story going for me as far as I was concerned for this story. And overall, that's what's kept it high for me in my rankings and my ratings. It wasn't so much the acting, although, as I say, the main cast are pretty solid. Tom Baker's good anyway. But overall, I would give this 3.5 TARDISes out of 5. And that one's done surprisingly well. That video, since it's been out 2 years ago, it's really quite good to see that again, and the interesting review I did of it and some of the characterizations. And my opinion of Adric hasn't really changed in 2 years. I don't think it ever will. I suppose what you can call his best story is still to come in the Doctor Who reviews, though it's not part of my schedule for the next 6 months at least. Speaking of reviews, there's everything up to the mid of October has been recorded, so going to work on that in the next couple of weeks, but there's a lot still to go on in that. But yes, hello, welcome back to another Streamstructor. Welcome if you just joined me. I've been going for the past 50 minutes or so, 55 minutes. A little bit longer to go. I was going to do a gaming related Gamestructor sort of thing today, but I'm just going to leave that for now, purely because of the nature of what I've got tonight. I've got other things going on, so maybe a Gamestructor next time round. Getting a Kidstructor in my head, because that's one thing that's coming up this month, I suppose. But yes, one more thing I just want to go over very quickly, and that's the reenactment stories from from the past month or so. Last week I was travelling down to Caldwell Castle, which is the second spectacular jousting of the year from Historic Ireland, Scotland, and it just seemed to be, once I got down there, it was a perfect couple of days. I felt really relaxed, really happy. I came up the road rather feeling peaceful. Then work started on the Monday, but no, but seriously, it was one of my favourite times doing reenactment I've done in about 3-4 years. It's just I got to do my own thing and help out and just have a laugh and fun, and the performances in the middle of the arena were fun as well. Did a comedy piece, did a bit of fighting. I seem to have found a groove that I'm really enjoying and happy with, and I'm really happy with the whole setup. Although getting down there was a bit of a problem because I got the hire car, and then when I'm travelling down, the engine light started coming on and it was overheating, and I'm going, why is it doing this? No, don't do this, no. And I managed to park in somewhere safe, opened up the bonnet, and what I didn't realise at the time, it was the radiator cap. A cap had come off, and I'm going, oh God, what is it? What's gone wrong? And it was the radiator cap, of what I found out later. The recovery came out, they fixed it. What happened was, the guy who was filling up the radiator to make sure the water was still in the radiator at the end, before the car went out to me for the hire, he forgot to put the cap back on. And the way the cap had been caught is, the car I had is kind of lip where the front bumper bolts onto the chassis, and the hood, the bonnet hood had a kind of indent into it, which seals it, make it more waterproof so nothing gets to the engine. And the cap had caught in there, so it could have gone completely all over the place and missing wherever, but it was just water. So I managed to get down, had an enjoyable time after that, but it was a bit scary, I suppose. Driving, I was only about 14 miles away from my location, so it was a bit odd, a bit strange. But it went to safe mode. It just decided, no, I'm not going at 50. No, I'm not going at 20. I'll go at 10. This is me on a major A road, so had to pull over a couple of times, and then finally managed to pull over into somewhere completely safe and got recovery out. So yeah, it was sorted, but it was an hour and a half of my time, which I didn't necessarily need to have happen to me, which was an absolute pain in the so-and-so, is all I'm going to say there. But the weekend itself, helping out with in the heraldry stand, as I have been most of the time this year with Stan, and hi Stan if you see this. He won't be there at Fort George, but it's been a lot of fun, very relaxing. I do love the whole time. This time it's been very relaxing and very fun, and yes, I really did enjoy yesterday. Not yesterday, last weekend, and yeah, 2 more reenactment shows. Next week is Fort George up in Inverness. This is why I'm doing the live stream this week and not next week. Should traditionally be the second Sunday going forward, I think. I hope that's the plan anyway. So next month it will be the 11th of September that you'll get a live stream from me. Maybe not the most best day to do that. Maybe I just realised what the date actually meant, but. Those are the breaks. You're going to get 11 Septembers every year. You're going to hit it at one point, I suppose. But yeah, no, live stream next week, 11th September. Next month, 11th September at 4 PM GMT. But yeah, hopefully you can join me for that. But yeah, Fort George next week, it's a bit more militarised. And I was going to be doing a vlog off the back of Fort George in September. That's not happening now. It will be postponed. I probably will film, but I'll postpone it because the whole military situation with Ukraine and everything like that, I feel it's maybe not right at this point to put something like that online. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I put it on. So there will be a Fort George vlog, but probably not be this side of the 100th vlog. It will be the other side. Which kind of dictates what my 100th vlog road trip journey location is going to be. Because it was either going to be Fort George or Elgin Cathedral. I know where I'm starting now. But more about the lineup and that next month. It will be Elgin Cathedral on the 4th of September. But coming up for the rest of the month, this month, we have the live stream clip, which is Wednesday at 6 PM GMT, and the next Sunday is the vlog to Restenif Priory. Then on the 21st of August at 4 PM GMT is the first Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who review. It's Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. And then at 6 PM GMT, it is Deanstructor Reviews Doctor Who, Revelation of the Daleks, on the 24th of August. And then on the 28th of August, finishing the month, it's the last Kittochside recorded with Fraser back in February. It is Tugs, and probably the last presence of Fraser for a wee while yet. But just going to leave you with one more image here. I had my nephew visit yesterday. There's a wee Gus sniffing the floor. It's the best one I took. Don't worry about the Jean leg in the front. That's my leg. It's nobody else's leg, and it is definitely a leg before you go any further. But yes, he was there yesterday. He's a bit more skittish this time. He's not as friendly. I think he's going for a kind of nervous teenager stage at the moment. But there is Gus. There's my lovely little nephew there. And that's really all. So thank you guys for watching this live stream. I know it's kind of short, sweet, but it's been a few interesting topics and conversations. And yes, thank you all for joining in, post live and live. And we've not really made chats or conversations on the live stream. That's fine. You can leave a comment down below. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and share it with the hashtag Teamstructor. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you know when a new video comes out. General new video every Sunday at 4 PM GMT. Livestream clip will be on Wednesday at 6 PM GMT, and then I'll be back with the vlog for Rest End of Priory next Sunday at 4 PM GMT. Thank you guys for watching as always. I will catch you next week, and of course I'll see you on the 11th of September for this live stream as well, when all the fun and frolic start once more. Until then guys, thanks for watching. See you later.